Welcome to the Quiet Shift Podcast. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect or represent those of the hosts, production team, or 502 Media, LLC. We do not endorse or take responsibility for any opinions, statements, or actions made by our guests, as their actions are entirely their own. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Discussions may include topics that some listeners may find sensitive or triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. The Quiet Shift Podcast and 502 Media LLC do not accept any liability for the statements made by guests or for any actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. The Quiet Shift Podcast is a registered trademark of 502 Media LLC, all rights reserved. Any unauthorized use, reproduction, or distribution of this content without the expressed written permission of 502 Media LLC is strictly prohibited. Thank you for listening, and welcome to the Quiet Shift Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Quiet Shift Podcast. My name's Anthony, content creator, badge 502, and I got a fun one for you today, man. Listen, unless you've been living under a rock and that rock happens to be nowhere near a cell phone or a hotel, then, we have an incredible guest for you today. The hospitality heiress herself, my good friend, Jessica Van Al. Welcome to the program, man. Welcome to the Quiet Shift Podcast.
Hello, how's it going?
Well, listen, I'm just this side of fantastic. It's so good to see you again.
So good to see you.
When last we met, 'twas at a PAX event in Boston. A wee twinkle in my eye as I gaze upon thee. No, it was really cool. So the way I met Jessica, I was at PAX. I was at PAX East over in Boston, and I happened to be making my way into the Creator Lounge. And listen, I am so guilty. I'm so guilty. I never recognize creators when I go places. I never do, and they're everywhere, especially at events like that. They're everywhere. I went to New York Comic Con, and I'm 6'7" was there, and I find that out later. And listen, that man. First off, that man is 6'7". All right, do you know how hard it is to miss a 6'7" tall person? Right? He walked. When I saw that he was there in like a video afterwards, I was like, oh, he walked right the hell past me. I had no idea, but. Jessica and her friends walked past me when I was walking into the Creator Lounge. They were walking out, and I was like, wait a minute. Hold on, but just a sec. And then listen, I geeked. All right, I geeked out. I'm not ashamed to admit. I'm a little ashamed to admit it, but like, we've grown since then. It was only embarrassing for a little while. When you fangirl, when you fangirl in front of the person, and when you don't realize you're doing it, it's even worse. But yeah, and I was like, can I grab a picture? And then we hung out like the whole convention. It was a blast. Like Jessica's such a cool person. So what's going on, girl? How you been?
I've been great. No, see, it's so funny because you're like, oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. You were just so like sweet. Like as I was walking out, you were like, oh my gosh, like it's so cool to see you here. And I was like, yeah, hi, like what's up? And obviously, I knew you must have been another creator, but I didn't recognize you because you weren't in the right fit. You weren't in your usual outfit. So I was just like, oh hey, what's up? But you look so familiar at the same time that I was like. What? That's so interesting. And then I remember it somehow it came up with your Instagram and you showed it to me and I saw your Instagram following and I was like, okay, I need to find out who this is for real. Cause like, what do you mean? Oops. And then as I was on my way to the market, I looked at you up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the ENT guy. And then I immediately came back to all of my friends. And I was like, you guys have seen his videos, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, what's up? And so then you were over at the other table and I just like walked up behind you, slapped my hand on your shoulder. I was like, hey dude, I'm so sorry. I know exactly who you are. I didn't recognize you. Like, what's going on?
Which is, it's a good thing you did because I wasn't fangirling before enough. And then I was just like, I've lived a good life. This is it. This is how I go. This is it. Yeah. So I am live over on TikTok as well. I don't understand why those folks on TikTok are not over here on the podcast. But make your way on over to 502 Reviews over on YouTube and come hang out with us because we are live with Jessica Van Al here on the Quiet Shift Podcast. So Jess, it's time to spill some beans. All right. I'm a big bean spiller up in here. Okay.
Okay.
So your content kind of spans that the hotel and hospitality area. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's so clever and so witty. And the fun thing about it is I spent a lot of time in the restaurant business. I spent a little over 12 years in both corporate restaurant and after that, I ended up working for a Job Corps center and ended up being the manager of food services over there, even though that's That's a whole story. I went over I literally left the restaurant business because I was like, "I'm going to I will do anything other than this," and I put out an APB. I was like, "If somebody's hiring, I don't care what it is, just tell me what it is," right? I ended up
Uh-huh.
I signed up for security over there. 3 months later, the manager of food service quit, and they're like, "Hey, you were in a restaurant for, like, umpteen years. You wanna do this?" And I was like,
Oh.
I don't." And they're like, "Well, I'm gonna." So, I was
Well,
like,
too bad
"Well."
you've been voluntold.
Yeah, I basically got voluntold into a position that I did not want, but it was rewarding. It was really cool to work in that. But uh it kind of your content kind of spoke to me because we kind of walked that same line where it's like, you have to put on that smiley face. You have to you kind of
Mhm.
you are there because you are there because they are there.
Mhm.
And we're just trying to do the best we can by the people that are in front of us. And sometimes that's less than possible.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well,
obviously
say
these con-
in the restaurant industry, you have people who come in and they're hangry and they're
Mhm.
I love my dad to death. He's a great person. He's a great dad. The second that man gets hungry, you need to shove a Snicker bars or something in his face because he gets so mean and not like mean, but like he gets very hangry. And having to deal with that with restaurant guests, and also everyone has their own dietary wants and needs. So you're dealing with, all of that and people's expectations and hospitality in hotels, it's so similar too because people come in and you don't know how long their travel day has been. You don't know what they've gone through to get to
Mhm.
the vacation, and sometimes they've had a great day and they're so super pleasant, and sometimes they're at their wits' end, and unfortunately, they're just gonna take it out on you because you're there, and
Mhm. You're
you're
human-sized
gonna get
punching
punching
bags.
bag. Yep,
So
yep.
so this content obviously did not get spurred out of nowhere. This
Mm.
comes from lived life experience. So before there was Jessica Van El, the content creator, all right, before there was even say Jessica Van El, say the person who worked in hospitality. All right. Let's take it back. All right, let's bring it back. What got you in to that field in the first place?
Uh,
It's always good when they started out with a giggle.
it
As the
all boils down to Disney.
Oh yeah, there it
I
is.
look, let me little disclaimer here. I consider myself an adult who likes Disney. I do not consider myself a Disney adult. In my opinion, there is a big difference between the two of them.
And she's
We don't.
both.
Mm, I'm not over here tracking every cent change for a hot dog or a McGee pretzel or whatever. Just it's. But anyway,
Not
or
slinging Dole Whip for sport.
I'm not harassing characters and getting their schedules leaked so I can go and stalk the people who are acting as them.
That would
Uh,
never happen.
never, never, ever. But whenever, I moved to Florida when I was oh, hello. I moved to Florida when I was in middle school, and Disney World is in your backyard at that point. And I grew up in
Mhm.
Anaheim, so Disneyland was in my
Sure.
backyard. So it's just always been something that's been part of my life. And whenever I went to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I don't think a lot of people do when they go off to college. It's like I'm here because that's where I'm told is the next step after high school. So I went in as a business major, and then very shortly into that, I had a friend who was like, "Well, you want to work at Disney, right?" Because I went to University of Central Florida, which again, like 20 minutes away from Disney World. And I
Right.
was like, yeah, no, it seems like a great place to work. Like they have plenty of jobs, plenty of opportunities. At that point, I was very much someone who was going to the parks very often. And well, super backstory. I used to work as a party princess for kids' parties. So I was going to Disney as like research because I was friends with Elsa for kids' parties. So I got to go to Disney and ask Elsa questions that you know, maybe need to be answered by kids when I'm off at parties. So I got really into that. And so she asked me in college, don't you want to work for Disney? And I said, yeah. And she said, okay, well, why don't you major in hospitality, not business? And I was like, hospital, you mean like working in hospitals? Because that's often the question that you get. When
Yeah,
you
for
say
sure.
you majored in hospitality or you work in hospitality, people think hospital,
Mhm.
but
Or
not
hospice.
realizing it's an entirely different sector. Although, fun fact, as I was leaving my program of hospitality management, they were starting to implement hospitality in hospitals as a course because you are also providing a service when you're working in hospitals and you're a nurse or you're a doctor or you have to have that like bedside manner. There is a certain level of that service spirit that also needs to be translated over for that environment as well. So
Mhm.
that was neat. But I changed my major over to hospitality, went to the Rosen College of Hospitality Management, which is a beautiful little campus in Central Florida. And that was the start of everything, was just, "Oh, I wanna go work for Disney. Let me get a degree in hospitality management to make working at Disney easier."
That makes perfect sense. And it's
Yeah.
it's funny because when you think of working at a place like Disney, there's so many things that you can do at Disney. There's no one job. You're not just, and everybody's in the cast, but it's are you going to be an actor? Are you going to be this? And everybody plays a role, and it all links in. So it's a really
Mhm.
cool interwebbing of jobs over there. So
Yeah.
hospitality over there must be wild because everybody's going over there. You probably get it from both ends because everybody's going over there with the best intentions, but you know, mom, dad, 4 kids, 95 degrees,
Mm.
you know, who forgot what, who's running late, who didn't do this, who's angry from the night before, and it all carries over. So, you're getting folks that are just like, "Please, I just want today to be good." So finally at Disney. Everything is going to be great because we're at Disney, and then
Mhm.
it compiles. It's hot. You're waiting 20 minutes. You're waiting 20 minutes for a bottle of water. You're waiting 2 hours for a ride, and it's going to build. That tension builds at theme parks and amusement parks. So it's
Well, and there's so many dips in energy because you're waiting in line and you're bored and you're tired. And then you get on the ride and you're excited and your adrenaline starts going because, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And then you have it. And then you get off the ride and your adrenaline starts coming down. You start crashing. And then you're walking for 20 minutes in the Florida heat to your next ride where you're then
Mhm,
again bored waiting and then just
mhm,
rinse and repeat, and now you're hungry and you've just hopped in line, but the kid needs to use the bathroom,
mhm.
and there's 10,000 other people who are also there. I think people forget that a lot when they're going to theme parks, is that there are other people there,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're gonna be doing what they're doing,
Mhm.
and it is a lot, but it costs a ton of money too. It costs
It
so much
does.
to
It's
get
definitely not cheap. Disney is not
and
cheap anymore.
no! Oh, it's gotten so expensive, it's crazy, especially
Mhm.
if you try to stay at the resorts, good luck.
Yeah,
But that's the
seriously.
thing, it's all the cost of everything also means, like, I've spent so much money, I need to have a good time,
Mm,
and
that's a
it's
good point.
yeah.
This has to be good. I have to get my
Mhm.
money's worth. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, if you've never been to Orlando, if you put a drone in the sky, there's no ocean.
No.
You are in the center
Yes.
of
We are
of
called Central Florida
yeah,
for a
it is.
reason.
You are not near any ocean breeze. None that does not exist in Orlando, my friend. To
No.
the point where they have misters everywhere. It's hot. It is hot,
Yeah.
hot. It's what do they call it? A dry heat. It's a dry heat.
Oh. Oh, but it's not even dry, it's like a soup bowl.
Oh,
You're just in the middle of that soup bowl, and it's just hot and
it's a
wet. You walk
giant.
outdoors, and it's like you've been slapped in the face with a giant wet blanket. It's
Oh,
awful.
nice little fermentation station.
Oh,
You
yeah,
just have
my home is at a nice crisp 70 degrees right now
ooh,
because I
70.
have yeah, but that's cold. That's pretty cold in Florida.
70 degrees. I am melting if my air's on
No,
70.
you would not survive.
Our
No.
house when we had our condo in Florida, it was as close to the water as it could be without being on the water. There was our condo complex, and then a park, a small a highway, if you will.
Mhm.
Technically, I guess it's A1A,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
A1
A1A.
A1 or A1A that
Yeah,
runs up the
A1A
coastline,
highway. Yeah,
and and then the ocean.
yeah.
That was just it was just right there. It was beautiful, great little place, and unfortunately, we had to get rid of that place. But yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely.
Mhm. Oh, the
Um,
coast is wonderful.
oh yeah, so nice, so nice. What is some cheaper to go to Antarctica for 11 days with flights and staying at a basic room at a budget resort and Disney factoring tickets. Yeah, yeah, 100%,
Yeah. Oh gosh.
100%.
Someone did the math, and for the math, the way it broke down, it was cheaper to fly to Tokyo,
Oh my god,
go stay in a hotel in Tokyo, and go to Tokyo Disney than it was to do Disney World.
wanna go to Tokyo?
I bet. It's
Come on,
amazing.
let's go. You been?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, this is what happens when you're a full-time content creator. You got this. time on your hands.
Oh, that is such a big factor with everything. You had actually asked before the podcast started, like, what a typical day looks like
Mhm.
for me, and it's usually I go to bed really late because I'm usually hanging out on Discord, so I wake up pretty late in the morning,
This is
usually
gonna make you
have
real angry, guys. This is gonna make you real angry.
ah, yeah. Usually have my coffee in my morning time, and then I usually will try to make sure I start, no later than, like, around lunchtime,
Mm.
and then my workday can be anywhere between an hour to, like, 10 or 12. It really just
Mhm.
depends on what I'm trying to accomplish that day, if I'm trying to film, if I'm doing editing, what deadlines I have for myself, 'cause it's all self-imposed, everything I do, and my schedule for my week is something I have decided for myself and how I do my content. So I will just go and do all that. But a fun part about being self-employed is that all your local friends treat you like you're unemployed.
Yeah,
And
exactly right.
and so I get so many
W
messages.
while they're at your house
Yeah,
doing
yeah, no, oh my gosh, all my friends are constantly like, "Hey, you can come over and help me with this. Hey, like, you wanna go over here and do that? Hey, I have this thing going on." And because I love my friends, and I actually am very, very lucky to have a fantastic local friend group, we're very much the definition of, like, you have to be a villager to if you want a village. We are
Mm.
very much a village for each other, and we all show up as villagers. But, I think last week I went over to one of my friends' houses and I built some IKEA furniture for her, and then the next
I
day
was
I went over
just
to a
gonna make a joke about that. I was gonna be like, "You wanna come over, build some IKEA furniture for me?"
I love building IKEA furniture. It's like one of my favorite things. Genuinely, I love it. So I did that for her, and then my other friend was recently moving to a new place, and bless her,
Oh my
I
god.
helped
She
her
did
move.
her
I
whole
I was one of only 2 friends that was able to show up to help her and her husband move their entire house,
what a
and
gal.
I was like and I hurt my neck for days after that, and so whenever she messaged the group chat, she was like, "Hey, anyone who is able to come over and help clean out the place that we've just moved out of, so that it can be turned back over to the renters or the management company, we'd really appreciate it." And I was like, "I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that, cause
I'm
like,
paralyzed.
I really just wanna be able to relax and, like, do my own stuff today." And then she calls me and she says,
Oh.
"Jessica, they turned off the power early.
Oh,
We have no
no.
power. Do you have a backup battery we could use?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I brought over the
Oh.
battery, I brought over some vacuums and cleaning equipments and stuff, and I was like, "I'm here. They're having to clean this place in with no air conditioner in Florida. They need all the hands they can get. I'm just gonna help." So I spent 2 days cleaning their
Oh
house.
my god.
So it's a lot of I do have my own content and I have I wouldn't say that it's certainly not any more difficult than it being an EMT or working in hospitality or really any job, but it's very time consuming. Like the job
Oh, yeah,
can
for
be
sure.
very time consuming. So I do that, but then I also do try to show up for my friends. And that kind of is what fills my day
Yeah, I mean,
is
success is
friends and
definitely
work.
what you are willing to put into it, especially when you're creating content. It's you can make a 15-second short and it'll make you some money, or you can make a
Mm.
YouTube channel, make 10-minute videos, and then YouTube will, listen, any way you slice it, Facebook, listen, you did good for me, but listen, let's be honest. If you're gonna get paid, Google's gonna pay you.
Oh yeah.
Google's gonna pay your paycheck. All right. So um, when you want to put that work in, it depends on just how much work you're willing to put in. And listen, sometimes those days are hour long. Now I'm very blessed to be able to be. I'm on the ambulance, so when I have downtime on the ambulance, I'm able to
Yeah.
do work. When I'm on the police desk, I'm on a police desk in a town that has like 7,800 people. Incredibly lucky. I can do all my posting. I can have all my content ready, do all my posting, do all my cross posting, do my writing. I can do all that while I'm just sitting there doing absolutely fuck all. Just hanging
On the
out.
clock. Yeah.
And I'm just knocking stuff out, and then, when stuff happens, it happens, but, something that you'll learn about and when you're a first responder and when you're on the police desk, when you don't get paid for what you do, you get paid for what you might have to do. So
Mm.
that's how we do it, so
Well, that's how
mm,
I was able to begin what I did too, is I was working overnights because
there you
I
go.
had been let go, like everyone else in 2020 when the pandemic swept through. And then I got called back. And at the time, I was living in a studio apartment above the garage of a townhome that my parents owned, and I was renting it from them. And my mom, or my bonus mom is what I call her.
Mm.
She gets sick very easy. Like, you just sneeze wrong around her and she gets sick. So she was nervous about for me to go back to working in hotels when the lockdown lifted, because it was still very much like we didn't have the vaccines yet. We didn't know a lot. Like, we learned some things, but it just wasn't it was something she was nervous about, was for me to go back to working with the public. So I was like, well, I already can I'm already a vampire. What if I just stay up all night and I just work the overnights? Like, that's what I was doing before we shut down, because our night auditor quit. So I'll just go back to doing that. And that's around when I started posting to TikTok, and same thing. I mean, you're working the overnights at hotels around 12 midnight to 1 a.m. is when everything really starts to quiet down. And then from 1 to like 6 a.m., it was almost always completely dead. I was just doing the audit, which was just some paperwork and running reports. And I was babysitting the desk in case someone needed me. So in that downtime, I was editing my videos, I was scripting. And then usually what would happen is when I went home, I would put like the most bare minimum, a little bit of makeup on my face, film a video real quick, and then go to sleep and
Mm.
for the day.
Worry about it tomorrow.
And then whenever I was back on shift is when I would go in and actually edit down the video, add the captions, all that stuff. And I think that's a big misconception that a lot of people have about becoming a full-time content creator, is they think it's something that you have one video that does well, it blows up overnight, and boom, you can quit your job and you go off and do content creation for the rest of your life. I
100% of the time. That's how it goes.
genuinely no, that's totally
Does
how
not.
it happens.
100%.
I genuinely believed I would I do believe I would still have a job, a regular job right now, if if the job I had still existed.
I remember you saying something like that
Yeah.
your job just kinda poofed.
Yes, I was working for Disney. It was my 7th year of working at hotels in hospitality. I'd only been working for Disney for about a year, and every year, I think now it's every 6 months, they've changed it back to 6 months, but every year at that point, you could basically, apply to be recast. You could apply for a different role within Disney, and I knew I didn't wanna move up in the hospitality industry because I don't like managing people. I didn't want to be the one that had to like deal with like guest escalations and all that. So I was looking at what the other job I could do, and there was something called Disney Floral and Gifts that was an ADHD
That's
person
the
like
one.
me's dream job. Oh my gosh, it was great because you walked in, you had no idea what you were doing day to day. Am I gonna go pull stock for gift baskets? Am I gonna go process some flowers? Am I gonna go set up a wedding? Am I gonna am I
Just
gonna go
potluck, is it anything?
Oh, am I gonna go deliver gift baskets to all the different resorts for the day? It was so much fun.
I love
And
that.
I that was genuinely my dream job, working at Disney, where I was getting all the benefits of being a cast member, being on this really cool team, having something new and different all day, but I was good at it. Like, my brain is really great at processing all those different tasks, and as long as I'm constantly like mentally stimulated, I'm great. And then about a month in, I get a call from Disney HR, and they're like, "Hey, bestie, this role, this department, we've decided it's not profitable enough. We're gonna outsource it.
Oh,
It's gonna be a third
no.
party that's gonna take it over.
No.
You could like go work for that third party. You could go like do something else at Disney, but it's not gonna be a Disney role anymore. So you're not gonna get the benefits, and the job's going poof." And I was like,
Well.
okay. And at that point, I'd been doing social media for years, and it was just that was my hobby. Like, social media was my fun little hobby
Mhm,
that I was very lucky was giving me some income to like, be very comfortable, but I
mhm.
still wanted to work. I wanted to work at Disney doing what I was doing, and I would still be doing that now if they hadn't got rid of the role. Oh, makes me so mad. If they
Classic
ever bring it back.
Disney.
If they ever bring it back and they called me, I in a heartbeat. If they said, "Do you wanna come back to working for Floral and Gifts?" I absolutely would. I
Yeah,
really
t
would.
even today,
Yeah. No,
schedule being
I
what it
would
is, lifestyle being what it is.
I'd probably wanna go to doing part-time, not full-time,
There it
but
is. There it is. All right.
I gotta have
I'd like
some time to
I'd like
work on
I'd
the
like to do it 5 to 12 hours a week. It'd be great.
I had to be able to do some content stuff, but I loved it. It was so nice, but
So what was the line, if you will, line in the sand where you're like, you know what, I think making content will be fun. Like, so I know when you said that, everything started to take off kind of during
Mhm.
COVID, and then obviously the job got chopped
Axed.
down during COVID. But what was the start where you were like, you know what, TikTok sounds fun, or you know what, Instagram sounds fun.
I was just scrolling. Actually, there was someone who this was at the era where I was seeing a lot of videos reposted to other social media platforms with like the TikTok watermark. And
Oh,
I had downloaded TikTok in college when it was still like basically the Musically app.
Mm,
And everyone was just lip syncing and it was very
yeah,
classic OG TikTok.
classic
And
TikTok.
it wasn't really for me, so I deleted the app, but then I noticed that people kept posting videos from that app other places, and I'm like, "Why don't I just go watch them from the source? Why am I waiting for some random content thief to repost these videos instead of watching them myself?"
Right.
And then I just started following people and just for fun, because it was, I was bored, working overnights, so I really had no social life whatsoever. I barely had any friends. Like my local friend group, I had only just actually no, I hadn't even met my local friend group when I started TikTok. So I had no friends. I had my one best friend since college, but we were both working gals. So I
Working
really didn't
gals.
yeah, I really didn't have any friends or anything really going on outside of just work and my family. And so I was like, "Oh, let me post to this app for fun and just post random little videos." And most of it in the beginning was about being a party princess and working for Disney and Disney bounding, which is where
Mm,
you dress up in outfits inspired by Disney characters and go to the theme parks, because
okay.
adults aren't allowed to wear costumes, but they
Right. I
are
remember.
allowed, like, if I wear, like, a blue top with the yellow pants and give myself a little, red hair bow, it looks like Snow White. So
Gotcha.
I would have character interactions when whatever, so I'd post about that, and it was a fun little hobby. Like, I remember when TikTok invited me to the creator program, I looked at my bonus mom and I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna join because I don't want this to feel like work."
Mm,
And she was like, "Jessica, you're
mhm,
posting the videos anyway. If you're gonna pay you for it, get paid for it, and then just
right.
treat it like a hobby
Mm.
or a fun little side gig." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then here we are.
And then the Rolls Royce pulls into the driveway. So
Me and my little Honda are very happy, thank you.
so the channels start to grow. As you can see, I'm super blessed to have been able to join the 100,000 club like Jess. And you can
Yeah.
see you got my little guy right here. You got her
Mhm.
little guy right over yonder. But I did tell her that she's like, when we get gold plaques, then that it'll be something. But listen, I do have a gold plaque, and here's the thing. You ready for this? I promised her
Yeah.
I'd show in the pre-show. I told her I was gonna show her this. So this is my gold plaque. So when my channel hit, when my Facebook hit 1 mil,
Oh my gosh.
somebody sent a badge 502
That's so
plaque.
cool.
Problem is, I don't know who sent it to me, and it gets sent to my house. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I don't
There
like
it
that.
is. Yeah,
I
hold on,
don't
look.
like that.
Yeah, it's not exactly as it's enthralling as one might think, but
And you don't have like a well, no, 'cause
I
you
do have a
it
PO. I have a PO box.
but it's not forwarded to your house?
Nope.
That's spooky. Well,
No,
thanks, but also
and nobody's claiming it. So I got a couple questions in the chat. All right, so
yeah.
let's see what we got over here. Hold on a sec. How do I do this? Pin. There we go. Uh, oh my god, it's so hard to read. Dark Raid says, "What's the wildest customer interaction that you're comfortable sharing?" They say.
I was thinking about this the other day because every once in a while, as I'm just trying to fall asleep and have a good night, I wake up and I see red all over again because
I start
there's
twitching.
there's only that saying of like then you start seeing red. I
Hmm.
didn't think that was a real thing, and then I think only twice in my life now have I gotten so like frustrated and angry with someone that I genuinely it's like my vision went red.
Flames.
Oh my gosh. So I'm working, I can say this now, I'm working at Disney and whenever I made a skit based off of this story and I did not say I was working at Disney because I was still working there at the times, but
Can't do
surprise, it
that.
was at Disney.
Can't do that.
Actually, I think this was at Port Orleans Riverside, and Port Orleans Riverside is a gorgeous, huge Disney resort. It's actually one of my favorite Disney resorts. It's based off of Louisiana. It's
Mm,
wonderful. And a big thing with a lot of Disney resorts is they have there many of them are sprawled out outside. There's not a lot of Disney resorts that are just one set building that you just go up and down. A lot of them have separate buildings from the main one. They have little cabanas or whatever else. And at Port Orleans Riverside, you have the mansions and the cabins. I think they're called cabins, whatever they're little bayou area.
mm,
And they are spread out over like this giant area. It very much looks like a neighborhood.
mm.
And part of a lot of hospitality service is bag delivery, where if you give the bellman your bags, then they will bring that to your room.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Well, it was typical Florida fashion. We had lightning and thunderstorms all day. So we go into 101 for weather, which is cast members should seek shelter and try to stay indoors. And that includes people delivering bags. You stay inside. If there's lightning within a certain radius, you're inside, you're not going outside. And I had this lady come up to the desk and she was very annoyed because she had been waiting hours for her bags to be delivered to her room.
Okay.
And she kept calling down, calling down, calling down, and they kept saying, "Sorry, we can't deliver them. Sorry, can't we deliver them? Like, there's lightning in the area. You're going to have to wait." And so she came to the front desk and she was like, "They're holding my bags hostage." And I was like, "Oh, well, ma'am, if you would like your bags, you can actually go to the bellman and they will give you your bags and you can bring them to your room." And she was like, "But delivering my bags is a service that you're supposed to provide." And I was like, "And we do provide it. As soon as the weather is cleared up, they will happily deliver your bags to your room." And and she was like, "Well, why can't they be delivered?" And I said, "Because there is lightning in the area and we need to protect our cast members." And this woman looks me in my eyes and
Oh, no.
says,
Oh, no.
there is there is such a small likelihood of getting struck by lightning."
What?
And I looked to her and I was like, and that's when I started seeing red because she was already being very like confrontational and rude about all of this. And for her to say that in my face, I genuinely saw red. And it took, uh, there are, again, there are some people, I truly believe that hospitality and being able to deal with people like this, it is a skill and it is something
Oh,
that
yeah.
is either learned or you just have to have a disposition for it. Because I had so many things I wanted her to say to her in that moment, but all I said was, "And that is not a risk that we are willing to take. Like, our cast members' lives is not something that
Frozen
we are
camera.
going to even risk, even if it
You're
is
gonna
a
have you're gonna
low
have to
risk."
jump back a little bit because you froze.
Oh,
You
no!
Yeah, that's
What
okay.
is one?
I have the power of the edit button. It's wonderful.
Period, period. But I don't know
So,
where
yeah,
I
so
froze.
jump back to, this is when I started to see red was because, there's like a finite amount and it was right after you said, there's such a small chance of you
Right.
getting struck by lightning.
Yeah, so she said there's such a small chance of you getting struck by lightning, and I genuinely that is when I saw red in that moment, and it took the hospitality is such a skill, and it is a learned skill, and I
Mhm.
do believe that, like, not everyone is necessarily just like, predispositioned to be able to handle those kind of situations. Because
100%.
there were so many things I wanted to say to her, but all I said to her in that moment when she said that there's such a small chance is I said, "And we are not willing to take that chance on our cast members' lives." Like,
Perfect.
girl.
Perfect.
And to me, that is one of the most, I've there's certainly there's other crazy stories and certainly probably more wild stuff, but for me, that was still one of the most tone deaf and wildest things I've ever heard
Yeah.
someone say is, "I want my bags delivered to my room, and I don't care if it puts your cast member's life at risk."
Yeah, exactly. You don't wanna do it. You don't wanna
Yeah,
bring your bags. You
yeah,
don't wanna do it,
and
but
she could
you
have.
want you want me to do it. You want
Yeah,
us to do it.
exactly, and it's like, you could have taken your own bags to your room, but no, you much rather because it's supposed to be a service we provide. But probably the actual wildest story is actually this one was sent to me through from Facebook the other day.
Oh no.
Back in like the 60s, this person's parents were apparently driving across the country, and they were staying in a hotel room, and they woke up in the morning to leave, and the dad checked the cage of the rattlesnake that he was transporting across the country, and it was empty. And he and I mean, obviously, this hotel, didn't allow pets and certainly not
Mhm.
a rattlesnake.
Yeah, that's something
So
different.
they were like, "We have to find this thing, and we can't tell the front desk that we've lost it." And so they tore the room apart trying to find this rattlesnake and finally found it coiled up under a heater and were able
Exactly
to
where it should stay.
yeah,
In
and
its
were
own
able
room, you
to
know?
put it back in the cage and leave, but like, a
Absol
rattlesnake!
absolutely not. 100%.
Oh.
I'm out. That room is now under construction.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Badge. Mrs. Badge 502 says,
Hello?
"Favorite character to play?"
Oh my gosh, surprisingly, so I was hired to play Elsa because I have naturally big blue eyes, and this was a small little local party princess company. They
Mhm.
weren't going to shell out to buy girls like colored contact lenses. And they certainly weren't going to like, and most of us were in high school, like we weren't going to go buy ourselves contact lenses.
Sure.
So when I came with my blue eyes, they were like, Elsa, yes, let's go. And
Let's do
I
it.
liked playing her a lot. I definitely liked playing her more than Anna because Anna was just so, like, hyper the whole time. I played her once and it was exhausting. Elsa was so
I
much
mean,
easier.
you're a pretty high energy gal, you know?
I am, but it was so much nicer just to be in the corner just, like, looking all queenly like, "Mm, chocolate," you know? But of all things, I really love playing Snow White. She was my absolute favorite. I
Okay.
surprisingly, I remember when I put on the wig and I put on the dress, all of a sudden my hands just did the thing, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's such a lovely day today. I
I
hope you
love
have a
that.
wonderful birthday, princess." Like, it's just so she's so camp. It's so much fun. Like, it actually felt
she's
like
very campy. It's funny.
yeah, it felt like acting, like, it was a challenge to get to play her, and it was just so much fun to just do her little isms, and so many modern princesses are very much like they're the adorkable archetype,
Yeah. Yeah.
but she's just so classic.
She's
It was so much fun.
very sleeping beauty, very, that classic old
Yeah.
school Disney.
Yeah, but she
There's
still
such a
has some
huge difference.
personality to her.
Yeah, there's such a huge difference between like the old Disney princesses and then every female lead in basically every Disney movie is now a Disney princess, you know? So it's
Yeah, but they're all like this adorable archetype, which it worked
yeah.
great for Rapunzel, it worked great for Mirabelle, but I'm so tired of every single female lead being like, "Oops, I'm so clumsy." It's like, "Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh, that's so funny.
It was great
How
last
am
time
I"
too.
Yeah, and the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that. Yeah. I have a lot of strong opinions
Oh
on
no.
this.
There's nothing wrong with that. Uh, Jay says, "How do you come up with the names for your characters?"
Oh, so a lot of the time so the names for my characters, sometimes they'll have been, in the story already because some of the stories that I make skits out of, I do get from Reddit, r/shelves in the front desk, my favorite subreddit of all time, and sometimes people put names in there, and then other times, if I feel kinda creative, I'll go and I'll just, like, think of for example, I had a story about a lady who was sneaking cats into her hotel room, and I didn't wanna make her last name Cat because that was too on the nose, so I looked up different languages, and their pronunciation or their how they said cat in their language, and I
Mhm.
ended up going with Kedi, which is Turkish for cat.
Okay.
And it was great because it doesn't sound like cat, Kedi, but or at least to, English speakers, it doesn't sound like cat,
Mhm.
but people did catch it. They were like, "Oh my god, Kedi." And then more recently, I've been having fun adding, like, video game characters' names. Like, I did a
Okay.
skit where it was a lady who was talking about her and her husband staying, and the last name was Afton. And she was like, "Oh, my husband's first name is William." And everyone was like, "Purple guy from Five Nights at Freddy's,
That's
ah!"
awesome.
Or I
That's
did
awesome.
Ethan Winters recently, like, I like to sometimes when I can incorporate different nerdy references because I am
What
at
a
my
nerd.
core, I am a nerd. I am such a nerd at my core. I mean, all
So
this
weird running into you at a PAX event.
What? Like, I got Baldur's Gate behind me,
Oh
I
my
got Studio
god.
Ghibli, I got my Disney pins, I got some shoujo anime, there's a bunch of
Nice.
Hatsune Miku figures above my desk right now. Got yeah, got manga in my room, like, I am a nerd at the end of the day.
What other question we got? We have, favorite nighttime, snack to have while you're working on the overnights.
Oh, so that's actually kinda interesting. So, working in the overnights, it I was good at it, but I didn't realize until much later how badly it was messing with my system.
Mm,
I actually got down to an extremely or almost extremely unhealthy weight because I couldn't eat.
oh dear.
I would try. It was one of those weird things where on the overnights, if I got a pang of hunger, I had to eat then and there because it would be gone in 10 minutes, and then
Mm,
everything else would make me nauseous. And
gotcha.
I would sleep, I would come home, maybe have, like, a handful of, like, air fried potato like, fries or something, for my dinner, breakfast, sleep all day, wake up, make myself a dinner, but I could only usually finish about half of it. It's just that I wouldn't necessarily call it an ED, or I guess it was technically an ED, but it wasn't, like,
Like a
self-imposed.
scheduling conflicting ED type
Yeah,
deal.
it was just my system was so thrown off by working all night and sleeping all day that it's like my hunger cues just got completely messed up. And so, to answer the question, goldfish crackers, flavor blasted, were my favorite.
Oh,
Um,
flavor blasted, bro.
flavor blast, you gotta get up
Oh,
there, not just
man.
basic, flavor blasted.
Which flavor?
Just the
Just a
basic cheddar cheese.
classic cheddar?
Although I've
Sounds
had the
good.
Old Bay ones recently, the Old Bay, seasoned,
Ooh.
goldfish, those are so good. But
Ooh,
that is
classy gal.
something but that is something that you have to consider when you're working these kinds of jobs is
Mhm.
I was great at it. I loved so many things about the overnight, but I didn't realize until, later that it was not agreeing with my system.
Mm,
And
okay.
so that's I eventually got back into working during days and I was able to get my normal system going again. And I now I love my snacks. I love my different foods. Flaming hot Cheetos are my favorite snacks of all time. But yeah, working overnights, it's not
It's
easy
brutal.
on the
Yeah,
system.
your circadian rhythm is gone, you sleep when you can, you're asleep when your friends are awake. It's working the overnight's tough, but I tell you what, at the police department I work at, I say this all the time. It's a madhouse during the day, it's just an
Yeah.
absolute
Oh,
madhouse.
yeah.
The town is awake, things are happening. There's such a thing as for those of you who are in responder life or who maybe this doesn't apply to them, but there's some places have nighttime differentials where you get paid like a dollar
Mm.
or two more an hour to work the nights. I think that our department should have a daytime differential because
Uh-huh.
I'm like I do exponentially more during the day than I do at night. And we work, we keep ourselves busy. Like we're pulling over cars, we're doing all the things. But the extra amount of stuff that you have to do during the day, I've personal opinion, daytime differential. And I'm okay with that. I'm like, listen, you want to give me a nighttime one, I won't be mad. But
Yeah.
like they deserve it a little more than I do. Just to be fair.
In
So
hospitality, I think we need a Saturday differential,
yeah,
'ca or
100% time and a
because
half,
oh my
something.
gosh, the weekends are atrocious, and
Mm.
in especially, like, vacation towns. I'm sure
Oh
people who
yeah.
work in hospitality all over the world, like, if they're somewhere where business travel happens more often, maybe Mondays are their worst days, but when I
Mhm.
worked at Disney, I eventually got to the point where I was trying to trade away all my Saturdays, or I just would not pick up. If I got a Saturday off, I just, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry, I'm sick that day.
oh, Saturdays were always the worst.
So tough. And it's like I'm super lucky that the place where I per diem, it's actually weekends is time and a half.
Nice.
So that's the sought after shift, because otherwise who wants to work weekends? Who's gonna put in for summertime Saturday,
Yeah.
6 A to 6 P. Like who wants that? Nobody wants that. But you hike that up to $38 an hour or something like that, it's a different conversation,
I
Now we can
mean,
have a conversation.
I do have to say, I actually loved having weekdays off because any sort of appointment you need, the business is open.
Mhm.
Any sort of like, if you want to go to the grocery store in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, it's usually pretty uncrowded. Costco. Oh, I went. So speaking of IKEA, I went to IKEA, a little while ago with my friend, and we went on, like, a random Wednesday because she's also she's a webtoon creator. She does amazing art. Not very, subtle plug for Not So Silent, fantastic webtoon. Um, but
No,
we were going
not a sponsor.
not sponsored, absolutely not sponsored, she's just my friend, and I like to hype her up. Also
Tell
Starcatcher.
me more about her,
Um,
please.
Starcatcher's wonderful too. But, we went to IKEA on, like, a random weekday, and it was so quiet, so cool, so calm. I then decided to go to IKEA on my way to her house on Saturday. I
Well,
wanted
that's a mistake. That's a mistake.
it was so awful. It was so crowded, and I was like, "The public is here. Why is the public oh, it's a Saturday, that's
How
why
dare
everyone's
they?
here.
How
Ah!"
dare they? How dare they be in my area?
Oh, so I'm
There's
like,
a
"No, weekdays are where it's at for me,
there's a
for
mall.
sure."
So there's a town up by us where it's about, I don't know, 15, 20 miles north, maybe not that much, but it still has blue laws in that town. So basically, the stores aren't open on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So that mall, there's a big mall over there. That mall on a Saturday,
Ugh,
and it's a
'cause that's the only
wealthier
way
area, but
to
that's the
go.
only time they can go, and all
Woah.
the entrances are narrow entrances, and it's stop signs oh, it's a nightmare during Christmas. It took me 46 minutes, I timed it, 46 minutes to get out of the mall circle, if
Parking
you will.
lot?
Yeah, out of the parking, and
Oh my
there's like main road that goes kind of around it, kind of ellipses the whole
uh-huh.
thing, and then you have to get on that road and then get to a side road and then move out. It's what a nightmare. I was like, "You know what? I live here now. I'm just gonna park my car, and I
Yeah.
live here now. I have the SUV. I'll just jump in the back. I'll pass out for a couple hours, wake up when the sun goes down. It'll be wonderful.
Uh-huh, and then you
It'll be
can
like a little
leave.
adventure. Yeah, it'll be adventure time. Maybe I'll be able to get out of here at some point. It probably would have
Oh
had just about as much efficacy as me driving out of there at that point. So I was like, why not?
Oh.
It was miserable. So we have the content started to take off.
Mhm.
You're starting to do some really cool things. You're getting to travel a little bit. You're
Yeah.
going to a couple conventions, a couple of gatherings. At what point are you like, you know what? I don't need to go back to 9 to 5 or PM to AM. I think that this is the business right now. I think that at least for right now, business is good. This is what I'm going to do. When did you basically decide that it was this is it? This is what I'm doing.
Well, to be fair, it was I had to because I had that job with Disney and I was loving it so much, it was it was a kind of a difficult decision to go into full-time content creation because I fully expected to just keep working. Um, and then when that went away at Disney, I had to really like I sat down with my parents and I asked them what they thought of everything and we looked at the numbers and we crunched everything. I talked to other full-time creators. Like I did not make this decision lightly and you have to treat it like a business.
Oh
I
yeah,
am
for sure.
very lucky that I'm able to do what I do and that I found a pace and a work schedule that is good for me where because the most tricky thing is balancing actually getting out enough content to make it viable as a job, but
Mhm.
also not putting out so much and not spreading yourself so thin that you burn out and that you're unable to keep up with it and you just want to quit and never touch a camera or a computer ever again.
Easy to do.
And it's easy. It's very easy to do. I have some friends even now that are content creators, and I look to them and I'm like begging them to just take some time, breathe, relax, like go hang out with their friends because this this becomes your job, it isn't just a regular 9 to 5. It is a
Mhm.
24/7 in its own
Oh
way.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And you have to be prepared for that, but you also have to be able to detach yourself from it, and that's why I make time to go to my friends and hang out with them and do random other stuff because that's why I probably would go back to working at Disney in floral and gifts if they ever offered, is because it was actually great to have that time where I just went and I worked and I did the job and I didn't think about this. And then I came back and I was refreshed and I wanted
Mm.
to make content. I wanted to do things and share stories and all that stuff.
It keeps it fun.
Yeah, it keeps it
You
fun.
know.
It keeps and it definitely can keep you on your toes. I think there was actually a study for college students that showed that it actually helps for college students to have part-time jobs because it forces them to really lock in and like be uh, aware of their schedule
Mm,
and really good at, okay, I have job here, I have class here, so this is the time that I need to study, and this is the time that I need to do whatever else. And it helps you kind of organize your life better when you're not the one necessarily having to organize it for yourself. So I have different things here and there. Like one of my friends had a baby last year. So
nice.
Thursdays are my baby days where I go over and I hang out
I
with
love that.
yeah, because mom works she's part-time at home and then part-time in the office. So on Thursdays, dad is with the baby all alone. So I go over and it's not really needed anymore because in the beginning, it was very helpful for me to
Mm.
come over every Thursday because, little baby, first time dad, he was like, ah. So I would just come over
Not
and like,
scary at all. Being a
not
first-time dad is
scary
not
at
scary.
all. So I
Not
just come
scary
over,
at all.
be a bit of, like support for him and baby. Um, and now it's just like every Thursday I head over and we might like take the baby to the pool or take him to the park or just hang out and watch shows or whatever. And uh that's something that's constant in my day or in my week is okay, I have baby day on Thursdays and then, whatever else for the week, different friend events. Like this Friday, my friend is having a birthday party. So, okay, I need to get content done on this day because, in the afternoon I have a podcast, then whatever else. So I try to keep
That's the right
that
answer.
structure. Yeah, yeah. So I try to keep that structure going, and, it's
Makes
a lot
sense.
of discipline, though. It's
It
a
is,
lot of
especially
sitting
when
to
you're the
self
one who's disciplining yourself. It's
Yeah,
tough,
yeah,
Locking yourself in an office and knocking out content is it's its own type of labor because, well, first off, you're in an office of all the stuff that you love, so it's
mhm,
super easy to get distracted. For me, when I come down here and I start knocking out content, I'm like, yeah, ooh, pretty shiny object, do this.
uh-huh,
So it's like, how do I get through this? And then, mind you, then you gotta edit it, you gotta post it, you gotta even something fun like that. Like this is so one of the biggest reasons why I do this podcast. Like I'm fully cognizant of the fact that it's a passion project for me. It's something that I love to do. I get to spend an hour or 2 hours or 10 hours, however long someone could stomach
yeah,
me, just chilling with some of the coolest people that I've met, present company
yeah,
included,
there you go.
and and, uh, and I just get to vibe and hang out and just talk to people, but at the end of the day, this has to get edited, this has to get posted, this has to
Mhm,
get turned into shorts, this becomes content, this becomes
yeah,
a piece of what we do, and, obviously, I want this to be huge, I want this to be The Unsubscribe, I want this to be Joe Rogan, I want this to be Caleb Hammer, I want this to be it's not. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but I still get to hang but tell you what, Caleb didn't get to hang out with Jessica, we did.
eh.
Uh,
But but that's the thing though is it's just so many people expect that, like, automatic,
mhm,
success or that automatic turnaround, and it is all a waiting game, and it's being persistent and consistent and able to just, have that discipline to keep it going,
mhm,
and, I mean, no one else started out like or no one else really starts out, like, just automatically having the numbers. I mean,
mhm.
YouTube was I called it my redheaded stepchild for
Yo,
so long.
seriously,
Like,
for real.
for so long, it was a platform that had no growth, no income, no whatever, but every day that I was on break at work, I would just upload, one of my old videos because I did TikTok alone for the longest time, it was just TikTok,
Mhm.
and then my friends were telling me, "Hey, you really need to be
Just process.
diversifying."
Just throw it up.
Yeah,
Just
just
throw it up
post it to
someplace.
Facebook, post to YouTube, post to Instagram, post to anywhere you can have the energy to post to, go post there. And so I was for the longest time just, logging in. All right, let me post a couple of these videos. I had a whole backlog of videos that I had posted to TikTok. And that's the thing too. If you've already been posting one place and you want to start posting somewhere else and starting to build that, don't start giving the new place all
No,
your new
no,
stuff.
do not do that. Fucking
Don't.
preach. Please don't
Give
do
it
that.
all the old stuff. Do what you did with your other platforms. Let it slowly build up. And then it's better
Mhm,
for you too,
mhm,
because you're not giving them the nice new shiny things. You're giving them
mhm.
the stuff because you're not going to get monetized right away. You're not going to see a
Nope.
return on that time investment right away. So just go ahead and slowly upload all of your old content, whatever you can stomach watching. Because there were
Mhm.
some old videos of mine that I was
I have
like,
some cringers. I have some cringers,
I
absolutely.
can't. I'm not reposting this one. It's just so cringe. But plenty of them, I was like, this is not the best quality, not the best sound, but like it's still a good, it's a fine story. It's whatever. Like it, I'll just post it. And then slowly but surely, I still remember the day that YouTube blew up because it was
Mm.
basically overnight that I was
Ooh.
just slowly gaining like maybe 10 here, 30 there, whatever. And then I blinked in, I think it was November.
Mhm.
Not last year, but like a couple years ago. I blinked, and all of a sudden, in the first of November, I maybe had like 60,000. No, 600 followers. And then by the end of November, I had over 100,000. And I was like,
Ooh-wee. What are you sitting at now?
huh? What happened?
What are you sitting at now on YouTube?
Da, 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 da. Content,
Look at her
YouTube.
look at her cheating over there.
Eh. 876K.
Golly, you're pushing plaque level, baby. You getting it, girl. Oh, man, we'll do part 2 on the podcast when she hits gold.
Heck yeah.
And then we'll have someone send her a plaque to her house that nobody's claiming.
Ah!
At least that wasn't scary. Fuck.
But the thing is, it's all different everywhere, right? Because you have over 1 million on Facebook.
I do, yeah.
I'm sitting very nicely at 568, which
Mhm.
is nothing to sneeze at for
No,
Facebook is so
absolutely not.
crazy to try to
It's the
grow.
and now it's Facebook, man. You know what? There's people now who are like, "Yeah, baby, I'm making Facebook money." And I'm like, "The reason you're saying that you're making Facebook money right now is because you were not making Facebook money in August. That's why. Because for those of you who don't know, Facebook, bro, listen, there was a period of time where I was just looking at buying freaking not timeshares, Airbnbs. I was just gonna start
Mm,
buying up properties just with Facebook money.
mm.
And now I'm giving cuddles for sandwiches now. Now I'm eating stale bologna sandwiches with Facebook now. It's unbelievable. And it was, I don't want to say instantaneous, but it was halved and then halved and then halved and then halved. It was incrementally and exponentially dropping, and it's brutal. It's brutal to watch because I know where it was a year ago, and
Mhm.
it makes me want to punch grannies. It's terrible. Yeah. I don't even
Punch
care.
granny.
I don't even care whose granny. I don't care whose granny gets in my way. I'll go right through them because of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that is a big thing with these social media platforms is it is all ebb and flow. And the biggest thing is no matter where it peaks and dips and whatever else, again, the best thing to do as a content creator is just to keep staying consistent
Do
and
your
keep
thing.
posting, even if you feel like you're getting spit on when they used to be, showing you all the
Mhm.
love. You have to keep posting because you never know when it's going to turn around and come back because these
100% true.
platforms are constantly tweaking
Yeah.
and they're constantly trying to change things around. And 1 month, yeah, you might be looking at the kind of income that you're like, I could go get a new car or a new house.
I could buy a new to me car every month if I
Yeah.
really wanted to at that point, and I would
Yeah.
never do something like that.
No.
I already did that.
Ah.
We just picked up a new like weekend car, and
Ooh.
I need to sell off my old one, which is just it's seen so many better days.
Me and my
But
2019 Honda HRE,
well, I
besties for
mean
life.
the hey, listen, that car will last you for
I
another
love
40 years.
her. She's my
40 years.
age. She's my baby. I
No, I
love her
just
so
picked up
much.
I have a 2011 S5, Audi S5, and
Ooh.
it's in such repair. Like
Yeah.
it's just time to put her on the plank and shoot the arrow at it and just let it burn and have a good Viking funeral, you know?
I'm gonna be so
Um,
real. What I want
but
so much, I want a BYD Dolphin so
oh
bad.
my
They're
god,
so pretty.
you're such a Floridian.
They're
Oh
so
my god.
pretty. Oh, they're so especially the, like, light blue color. Stop. They're so pretty. I want it so bad.
But so now what
Ugh.
I ended up doing was I picked up I drove from here in Jersey. I drove out to Rhode Island, and I picked up a 2018 S5 in white. I'm obsessed with it. It's beautiful,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
so now we got to sell the other one and get rid of that bad boy. But there was a period of time where I wouldn't have blinked at that, and now
Mhm.
I'm just like, I hope I can do this.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
but it's all like that, but you never know because 'cause I've certainly seen that too, where it's like, "Oh, okay, like, this isn't doing nearly as well as it used to," but, like,
but keep poking.
you never
Got to keep
know,
poking.
and
You can't
then
stop.
well, it was for the longest time, it was, like, TikTok was pretty good, Facebook was awesome,
Mhm.
YouTube was nothing, and now it's, like, almost completely opposite, except TikTok is just like
Yeah, it's like who cares?
I got kicked out of the program, recently. I got back in, but they kicked me out because I was posting unoriginal content. Because God forbid I post my own videos to other platforms.
Yeah, really. I just put so I got bored and I was like, I don't really want to make content for it because I don't make content strictly for TikTok anymore. I was making it
Mhm.
strictly there. But I was like, you know what? I'm a little behind. I'm just gonna grab one of my videos from my TikTok and repost it last night. I'm just gonna grab
Uh-huh.
this happened last night, by the way. This is a freshy pie story, my friend. I posted a video that, by the way, is still on my channel. I got an account strike and a freaking warning to like, if you do this again, we're gonna really whack that peepee. I'm like, bro, it's on the channel.
Uh-huh.
What do you say? And I peeled it, and they're like, no, 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 we can't have this. It was a video of a guy standing over like a rocket, and it like shoots off, hits him in the butt, and I'm like, the caption of it said like stunt went wrong, and I was like, stunt went wrong. What do you mean stunt went wrong? Like, how else was this gonna like that type of deal?
Uh-huh.
Nope. They account struck it, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. I don't even know what I can post anymore because the other one is on the page. It's active on the page. Like
Well,
what?
so you think it was they struck it because it was inappropriate or they struck it because it was reposted?
No, I think they struck it because they deemed that it was an act of violence, is what they said. And I'm like, okay, if you
Well,
say so.
I'm gonna get on my
TikTok.
soapbox for a minute. It's these companies and these platforms using AI to screen their
Mhm.
stuff. That's the problem,
That's what it
is they're
is.
all implementing these AI
Mhm.
filters to go check over everything, and then as soon as the AI flags it, then and you would try to peel it, the AI once again says, "Nope," and you're just like, "Ah!" I hate it.
Yeah,
I
seriously,
hate
it's
it
the
so
most
much.
unrealistic thing, and it
No,
makes
but
me just it
TikTok,
makes me not care. Like it makes me not want to
yeah.
care. You know, and it's
I
like, why should I?
repost, all platforms kinda have a no, like, repeated content rule, 'cause,
Sort of.
understandably, they don't want people just constantly reposting the same thing
Mhm.
over and over and over again, but TikTok, I found, will genuinely get so
They
upset
get
with
angry.
you
They
if
get
you
angry.
repost something, but Facebook and YouTube, as long as I'm just, like, upfront about it, because I am, I never hide the fact that this is a video that I've already made that I'm reposting.
Mhm.
I just put like, hashtag throwback, like, remember this? Because a lot of times I'll have people who message me and they're like, hey, can you do a video about this topic or that topic? And I'm like, oh, I've
Mhm.
already done that. But here, I'll do a repost. So, because I don't expect everyone to go and
I've
watch
seen
my
your video from 9 months
entire,
ago.
yeah, like,
Your
yeah,
whole catalog.
go. How dare you not be familiar with
You don't know
all
my
like
entire discography?
2,000 of my videos that I've ever posted. How dare you not know them by heart? I don't even know them by heart. Sometimes my
Blocked.
mom brings up a video of mine. She's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I saw this video that you made the other day." Da, da, da." I'm like, "I made that? I did that? Uh-huh."
I don't recall this.
I don't recall that. So I like to just sometimes go in and repost some stories. More recently, I've been doing like story time videos where, again, I'm very upfront with the fact that some of my skits nowadays, or majority of my skits nowadays, are inspired by stories that I get from Reddit.
Mm,
And so I'm very I'm real about that. Like, it's just that is how it is. But like, I'm just
yeah,
presenting it, and I put my little Jessica Flair to some of these stories. But what I like to do is I like to then actually read those stories as they were originally posted in a story time video, because sometimes you could get more context
that's a great
for
idea.
it than you usually can from the way I'm able to portray things in a skit. Or sometimes the stories are just too crazy for me to like do them the full way that they were told. Like there's just so much going on in it that I'm like, I have to like
Right.
water this down to make a skit
That
out of it. So I'll just read it in its original craziness. And uh, that's something I'll, go in and do, and whenever I do that, sometimes then my next throwback post will be one of the skits that I read the story of, because 'cause I'm very behind on those
Yeah.
story times. I have, like, 196 pages
Oh my
of
god.
those stories that I need to read for those videos, and I can only get through, like, 7 or 8 stories per video, because that's already about half an hour, so a lot of those skits are very old. So they are very repost worthy. They're very throwback worthy by the time I do 'em. It's like, "Oh, yeah, I posted this story, like, a year or 2 ago." It could be a throwback. It wasn't just, like, last month.
So there's folks out there that do try to make content, and they're stuck in the 300 club. You get stuck in that club and you feel like you're not getting out of it. You're jammed in it, and sometimes you get lucky and maybe it hits 1,000, but for the most part you're stuck in that 300 club, and you're kind of getting bummed out, or maybe you don't know how to make content. Maybe you're struggling to make content. Maybe you're afraid to start. Maybe you want to, but you don't know how to start. So if you can give a little bit of motherly, sagely advice, because some of us aren't at 800K on freaking YouTube. Freaking,
Okay,
what-
million on Facebook.
these freaking
Sure.
overachievers, bro.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
not even
million on
anybody over
Facebook,
here.
by the way.
There's nobody over here. I'm talking to
Uh-huh,
nobody.
uh-huh.
What type of advice could you give to maybe someone who's up and coming, or somebody who's struggling, or somebody who maybe they're not even up and coming, maybe they're starting to think about coming? I can't say that online, can I? All right. I'll strike that out later.
Yeah.
Uh, but what's some sagely advice that you give to some of these folks?
The biggest thing I have noticed in people that have become successful from doing social media is, and this seems kind of counterintuitive, counterproductive, but they didn't usually expect it, is the hardest thing, or they were just genuine about who they were and how they were. Because I feel like, especially in this day and age, there are so many people who want to be content creators, and there is certainly enough room, I think, for all of us, because I had to tell this to one of my friends the other day, because couldn't she was getting really upset about not being able to constantly churn out enough content. And I had to look to her and say, how much content do you consume in a day? Do you think one person could possibly make the amount of content that you as an individual consume in a full day? And she was like, "Oh my god, no, of course not." Exactly. You can be someone that people, scroll and they see a video once or twice or a few times a week and they like it, and then they move on to the next TikToker or YouTuber or whoever that they see. And so just not feeling that pressure that you have to be the only source of entertainment is, number one, something to, like, get off of your shoulders. Like, do not think that you have to do absolutely everything, but also just, like, be genuine, because people can absolutely sniff out and tell when someone is doing something with the sole purpose of just trying to follow a trend or get as many views as possible or be the next big thing. People can tell that it's
Mhm.
inauthentic. Like, my thing, I got my degree in hospitality management. I worked in hotels for so long. I genuinely love this industry, and I get to do and talk about something that I am actually very passionate about, and that's really cool for me. And I was lucky to kind of find my niche and follow into, like, I just got very lucky that I was able to carve that for myself when I did.
Mhm.
But and also, I would say, don't worry about investing in too much right away. So many people I see start off and then they get, like, that first, like, little bit of, you know, revenue from what they're doing, and then they turn around and they immediately get, like, the most expensive camera or the most expensive microphone or the most. And I was telling I was telling Anthony earlier today, I still film everything on my phone. I just
Easy.
I don't I tried the fancy camera thing, and it was too much effort and too difficult for me to set up, and I realized no one's complained.
Mhm.
No one
It's a
says,
it's
like,
a you thing.
It's completely a you
It's a you
thing. No
thing.
one that watches me is like, "Wow, I wish that she was using a super camera XD, like, whatever, I don't know, 9,000 trillion, whatever." Just
Mhm.
as long
The 9,000 trillion XD is a good one.
I guess.
Yeah.
So and I'm like, I'm over here with my ring light just right here and
That
my
falls on you.
little that falls on me, my little webcam camera, like my little I mean, it's a nice microphone, my little Blue Yeti, you know, it's
Oh,
just
little Yeti. Hey, my first Mikey was a Yeti.
I like
I
my
remember
little
my first
Yeti.
mic. I remember my first mic.
Yeah, but you know, you just find what works for you and don't stress about having to every single video you have to up the production quality, up the production quality. Like I have my production has gotten better over time by simply like the technology getting better, but also my own skills that I've developed. I still edit all my own content. I still caption all my own content, and it's made me a better content creator
Mhm.
because the stuff that I learned how to do now, I couldn't even imagine doing way back when. And you have to use the resources that come easiest to you or that you were most interested in learning. I tried Adobe.
Oh,
I
no, no, no.
tried.
Nope.
I wanted to throw my computer out the window.
No, thank you.
So I use good old faithful CapCut.
Same,
She works for me.
same.
She's my baby girl.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
my
to transition. I just go in and I boop a little transition.
yep,
But I've also
I have it on my
learned
desktop, I have it on here, it's
yes.
everywhere.
But I've also learned so many tips and tricks just within CapCut that's made my own editing better.
Mhm.
And now, fun fact, I do my own content, but I am now the I am now a editor for one of my friends where I make her like so she does a webtoon and I
Mm.
love it. And I make promo videos for her where I
Such a
go in
nerd.
I know, but, like, I you know those, like, fan edits that you see of, like,
Absolutely.
people I do that for her as a job now. It's
Oh
great, but
my
I'm
god.
learning new skills constantly, and it's fun, but I'm very lucky that again, I think this goes back to when I worked in floral and gifts. My
Mhm.
ADHD just loved having so many different things to do. I love setting up my thing to film. I love then filming it. I love then going in and chopping it all up and editing it down and then polishing it and then making it work and be appropriate for every platform that I post it to. And then scheduling all those posts and getting all the stuff going. Like every step of that process, I do actually genuinely enjoy. I think the only part of the process I don't enjoy is paying taxes, but that's about it.
And boy, howdy, do we pay our taxes, man. We so as content creators, just so you guys know, as content creators, we do all of our work tax-free.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, let me tell you,
Whew.
it was quite the awakening last tax day we meet.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah, that
is
hurted.
it does not feel good. And they're like,
Mm,
"You need to set up quarterly taxes." I'm like, "I don't even know if I could do that 4 times. I don't know that I could do it." I think I have
yeah,
to, but, like,
yeah.
I don't know that listen, that does not feel good.
I recommend it. I do recommend it. But that's
Yeah,
something too is no one tells you how to like do this. And when you become self-employed, no one teaches you how this is supposed to go. Like you just kind of learn by either other people helping you or trial and error.
true.
I now also have an LLC that I set up very recently. My like these people that I'm now working with to help me with all my bookkeeping are
Yeah,
recommending I do an S corporation. And I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Yes,
I had
the
to
S
go to
corp
the
is next.
bank.
The
I
S
had to
corp
go
is
to the
next.
bank and open a business account. I
Yeah.
had to go
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
that. I had to be an adult
Yeah, it's
and walk
gross, and
in
it
and be
makes
like,
you feel icky.
"Hello, I have a limited liability company, and I would like to open a bank account for that limited liability company. H help?"
I need an adultier adult.
Correct. Correct, but, thankfully, very early on, I had friends who warned me about the taxes, so I have a separate account that is purely,
Yeah,
like, every I
yeah.
have a little, thing I keep my, books on where I literally take out so much percentage from every single month, and I put it in that account and make sure that it's separate, and yeah, you just gotta
So
do all the things.
Relay is an online only account, and
Mhm.
Relay, when you set up your account, you can make sub accounts. And what's really
Oh.
nice is I basically my money goes into a account,
Mhm.
and every Monday it gets bloop.
Ah, smart.
That's really nice. So 50% of everything that I make goes right into my tax account. Obviously, my
Yeah,
tax rate is not 50%, but listen, it doesn't matter because once you pay out your taxes, plus you got to pay your accountant, you take that payment. First off, all of that's a write off. Don't be stupid. Right, people? Right?
Mhm.
Everybody, that's all write-offs. So you can take that,
Mhm.
then you take that dollar amount, 100% of it, put it right back into that main account, and when that Monday hits, bloop,
There you go.
and then you get
There you go.
repaid. It's like a bonus check,
Yeah.
except you just lost 20 grand.
Yeah. No, I describe it as I like to give myself a tax refund.
Yeah, that's
All
pretty
that
much what it
money
is.
goes somewhere else, and I don't get to touch it or see it because it's been paid, and then
Mhm.
whenever tax season comes around, I pay I must pay, and then it's like, "Oh, I have this much left over. That's a tax refund for me."
This
You
is
know?
this is mine.
"This is mine now. Yay, yippee."
Let's see, what do we got here? A couple more questions, and then I mentioned to Jessica before we, jumped on that I had a little surprise for her, and I know
Yeah,
she's just chomping. I know she's bit chomping right now,
yeah.
but I have a couple more questions that popped up. Coffee or energy drinks for the overnights?
Oh, see, at the time, I didn't have either. I
Ooh, she was a
literally
mushroom coffee kinda gal. I can smell it
mushroom co
in
ugh. I slept all day, and usually I would wake up, have dinner, and then I would take, like, a nap before before it was time to go to work, so I'd sleep from, like, 8 AM to 3 or 4 PM, wake up, do a little bit of whatever, have dinner, and then I would sleep from, like, 7 PM to 9 PM, and then I would
Oh,
wake
okay.
up, get ready, go to work. So I didn't have energy
So
drinks or
so
coffee
you
on
just
overnights.
slept? Gross.
Yeah.
What?
I was able to. I was very lucky that I had no problem just sleeping during the day,
Fair.
like we mentioned
Whatever.
earlier, it did mess up my, rhythm
The
for
circadian
eating,
rhythm really
so
messed.
yippee.
Zach says, okay, so real question. He goes, "Do you like it when friendly or did you like it when friendly guests, stayed up chatting during the graveyard shift as long as, they respect that you're working?" Like, the people just kinda hang out? Like, they walk in at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning, they start chatting you up?
Um, no. Well, to be fair, I was doing my own little thing a lot, like, I wanted to be working on my videos or, like, doing whatever, so if we were having a nice chat, like, if it was just very natural and flowy,
Mhm.
sure, yeah, I didn't mind if the interaction went on extra long because we're just yapping, we're having a good time, and I'm not worrying about other guests who need help or whatever, but I whenever I had people that would, like, come and sit down and be like, "I know that you're working alone all night, so I'm gonna keep you company," you're just like, "Oh." Okay, thanks. Like, it was a
That's
little bit
fair.
like when it was forced, because then they just kinda sit there and they'd expect you to make conversation, and you're just like, "So you're visiting? What you doing?" Like, "Oh," and it would be if the conversation wasn't flowing, it would be a bit like pulling teeth, and then it's 2 AM, and you're forcing me to have conversation when I just kinda wanna, like, go back to reading my book, or if I'm on night audit, I need to work, so
Sure.
I'm genuinely trying to run reports and do my checklist, and you're talking to me. So like, yes and no. On one hand, yes, if someone's on night shift and they're just having conversation late at night, it could be fine and fun if the conversation's flowing, but please do not feel obligated to sit down and make conversation with someone just because they're working all night. I promise if they're on that
We'll
shift,
get
it's
by.
because they have their own system for
Yeah,
keeping themselves up all night.
we're doing our thing. Just let us grind, otherwise we're gonna go
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
What was the first time you were what did I say? Where was the first time, you were recognized by a fan while out in the wild? Right, and
On
how does that feel?
the wild. Well, I know I primarily started getting recognized at work, right? Because people would check in, and I'm making videos about working in hotels, and they're like, "You look and sound so familiar." But then I think otherwise, whenever I'd be recognized in the wild, primarily it was when I was at Disney because 'cause I'm walking around just chatting with my friends, and people be like, "Oh my gosh, hi." And I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, hi." And I really do enjoy talking to people. I think it's great. I think a great part of, like, the way I make my content is when people do recognize me, they talk to me like I'm their favorite coworker.
Yeah,
Like, they're so excited to just, like, chat with someone and be like, "Oh my gosh, I saw this video you did, and I had a guest like that," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, tell me more," and we just have,
let's
like, the
dish.
yeah, it's like talking to your favorite coworker, so I love that. Hilariously, I kinda so my friends, I've gotten recognized a lot around my friends, and
Mm,
most of my local friends, like, all of my local friends are not content creators. Most of them work for Disney, and or they just kinda do their own things. So they're very much not in this space. So they just always kind of find it funny when I'm
yeah.
recognized. But one of my friends texted me and she was like, "I'm so mad at you." And I was like,
Oh,
"Why?" And
no.
she said,
What'd I do this time?
"The way I thought that the way that you respond to people recognizing you is how everyone responds to being recognized. So I approached this person that I recognized and was like, "Hey, I like your content, like your stuff so good." And apparently this girl was just like, "Thanks."
Ooh.
Yeah, fully did one of those
Yeah.
like, "Okay,
Yeah.
thank you." And my friend was just like, "Jessica would never."
You
'Cause
didn't schmooze it up or nothing.
Well, because a benefit of me having worked in hospitality is that no matter what's going on or how I'm feeling, I can turn it on.
Right.
I can turn on the hospitality, and I genuinely appreciate when people do recognize me and they approach me and they say something because that is really sweet, and it's really awesome that they watch my things and they like what I do, and I am terrified to ever be included in those, like, "Tell me a story about someone you met that was totally, rude." Like,
Mm,
if anyone ever said, "Oh, Jessica," I would take
I
myself
would
out
not.
back and just grab the brick,
This is
like,
it. This
"We're
is how
done.
I go.
This is how I go." So, anytime anyone is like, "Oh my gosh, I watch your videos," I absolutely do my best to engage and talk to them and spend that time, and so, but there have been
Well,
times where I've had a long day or I'm starving or I'm trying to get from A to B, but because of the industry I worked in for so long, no matter what I'm going through, I can usually just be like, my friends have seen it happen because 'cause I'll be like, "Guys, I need to leave. I'm so freaking tired right now." And I'm like, "Are you Jessica?" And I'm like, "Hi, yes, how's it going? Hello." And it's not, like, disgenuine because again, I do absolutely appreciate it, but, like, I just know how to put aside anything I'm going through and then just show up for the person in front of me.
I love that so much.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
also part of being an adult, I fear.
yeah. Yeah,
Like
we're kind of married to it.
yeah,
Um,
you just need to be able to connect.
so between when you were working, when you were creating content, there obviously has you have to obviously strike a balance between the two, you know? And that as well as your personal life and personal space and being able to wake up slow and doing the things that you love to do. How long did it take you to kinda find that balance?
Well, thankfully, I
Ha
already
have you find that have you found
I think I
that?
have because again, I'm very self-disciplined with everything. I
Mm.
It does help too that I'm in actually a couple different little Discord channels where we literally have like silent working channels where I'll
Ooh.
just pop in with my friends, we'll all stream what we're doing, and then we kind of just hold each other accountable. It's like going to work, but you're at home. Where
Ooh.
we
You're
basically
sitting in
like
your cubicles across the way from
yeah.
each other?
We basically just, like, clock in and we start working, it's like, "Oh, what are you working on today?" "Oh, I'm doing this." "Okay, cool, I'm doing that." "Okay, neat, I see what you're doing." And you're just like, "Ah, ha, ha, ha."
I'll be waiting for my invite
Um,
in the mail, okay?
yeah, yeah. Like, it's just one of those little things that helps to keep you on task, but I think it helped that, again, I started making this content and doing this when I was working, so I would have days where it's like, "Okay, I'm working this day. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, and by this time, I'm gonna do this or that, get that posted, and then enjoy the rest of my day." And that's still very much how I work. Like, after the podcast, I think mom and I are probably gonna figure out dinner, and then I'm probably just gonna play Stardew the rest of the night.
I love that. I'm
Yeah.
actually I've been looking for some cozy games to, like, really jam, and I was playing, like, Farmville and stuff like that, and it's cozy enough, you know, but listen, she apparently wants to have a cozy game conversation. That'll be after. We'll because listen and I'm
2
here for it.
words, Stardew Valley. That's
Yeah,
it.
I don't know. It just you know what Stardew Valley shows me? It shows me that it's one of those games where there's, like, secrets that there's no way to know unless you know them. Like, there was, like, that in the early game, there was, like, some cave that you had to find, but there's, like, no real way to find that cave. You have to just, like, know it's like Legend of Zelda where there's just, like, stuff that you have to know where it is.
Yeah, but, like, so I've played a couple of different saves on this one, and
Mhm.
you just treat the first time you play it as just like, "I'm figuring things out, I'm learning, I'm doing whatever," and then if you get to a point you wanna stop and you learn some other things, like, "Oh, I wish I did that in the beginning," you just
Mm,
drop that save and start a new one.
that's fair.
And I play on the iPad now, and I've become
Ooh.
true iPad kid.
Yeah,
It is
listen,
great.
my
I got
iPad
my
is great.
iPad pencil, I got and
Mhm.
it's just I can just, like, lean back on the couch and just be playing, it's
Girl,
so nice.
I am inseparable from my iPad. I'm an absolute fanboy for my iPad, 100%.
I mean,
My
not
iPad Pro is
sponsored, but
no
I'm
joke.
pretty sure that Stardew Valley is like $5, so just
Oh
saying.
my god,
Just saying. I think a $5 investment is worth it just to give it a try. Give it a try.
Is it a multiplayer game? Do you play with buddies?
It can be multiplayer.
Hmm. Maybe
I've done a
that's
couple
fine.
multiplayer farms, but I do like my solo because time doesn't pause if you're with other people, and so it can go very fast.
God.
Uh,
I did
when you're
a I did
playing.
a panel. I was with like Iffy and those guys,
Yeah.
and I did a panel with them, and it was top 10, top 10 things. And the question from someone came down. It was like top 10 in order most attractive people on Stardew Valley. And I was like, I don't know any of them, but I just bust out my phone right in the middle of this.
Uh-huh.
I was like, this one. And then I got
I
yelled. Then I got yelled at by Nerdy Nightly because he's like, "No, my wife is this one, so you can't have this one." I was like,
ah,
"Okay." I was
I
like,
am
"Okay,
married
Claris
to
can have whatever she
Haley in
wants."
this most recent save. My girl.
I'm
She's so
just saying.
pretty. I love her.
Last question that came up, at least as far as I could tell, unless I go back to all comments, which isn't cooperating. Someone says Poketopia. Someone might want to
Pocopia?
let her know. Yeah,
Also a
Poketopia.
great game. I did play that one. Very good.
Yeah. All right. So last one that came in was, so let's say you were the job is gone. The whole
Yeah.
job has been relieved of its command, and now social media is not there.
hmm
Right. What's the dream? What would be the next thing that you would want to do in life?
Well, the dream, what I'm trying to prepare for even now, and this is still something that isn't going to happen immediately, but you have your
Dental
goals.
hygienist.
I don't like mouths. Um,
What a statement.
gross.
When I put out
Uh,
the quote, the quote
I
slides,
don't like mouths.
I don't like mouths.
um the dream and what I'm going to try to prepare for next is I think there's a term for it. I think it's called fire or something. Basically it's an early retirement plan where you try to save up so you can like actually like everything blows up tomorrow, you can technically retire.
Hmm.
That would be the dream. Realistically, if social media were to blow up tomorrow, and I certainly don't have I'm not near any sort of retirement right now. Um, if
Don't
it blew up
call it a
tomorrow,
comeback. I never left.
yeah. If I could, I would, I mean, easy peasy, I could just go back to working for Disney. That would be absolutely no problem. It would just be to go back to working a role in Disney. But the dream would actually probably be, and this would be a lot of work that I would have to figure a lot of things out. But I think it'd be cool if I could actually travel around to different hotels that like wanted me and talk to their staff, talk
I
to
think
their
that'd be cool.
management, maybe do one of those like sit-ins where you
Mm,
watch how the operation is working,
that's so
find out
funny.
any sort of like kinks, like, hey, what guest service issues do you guys keep experiencing? How can we try to fix that? Is it a customer service thing? Is it do you need to do some improvements to the rooms, renovations, whatever? Like, and just watch that and then help advise
Mm,
or even like jump in and show different things that could be done. I think that'd be really cool. It'd be a lot of travel.
that sounds like a lot of
Um,
fun.
but it seems like it'd be fun. Like it'd be really cool to like
Yeah.
just go with people and connect with them. Like I already have people message me and say that they use my videos to help train their staff.
Oh yeah, I get that all the time.
Yeah,
A whole bunch of like because a lot of my early content was a lot of just straight away EMS content.
yeah,
They're like, yeah, we still use your
exactly.
stuff.
And it's like,
Uh,
cool. You want if you're already using my videos, you want to pay me to just come to your hotel and talk and like tell people things that you want me to tell them about working in the industry. So that'd probably be the dream. I'd probably try to get my master's in hospitality before I did that because I don't want to just be talking,
it's out
I
there.
want to be blowing hot air. I want to actually be talking from a place of education.
Makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, so that would probably be the next step. Would master's degree in hospitality so I can be very sure of what I'm talking about and then actually going and being like, "Hey, I have a master's in this and also I did this content creation and it did pretty okay, I guess. If social media has gone dark completely, but if you want me to come talk about cuz that's the cool thing is like since the dawn of human time essentially people have wanted to travel
Oh
and
yeah.
go places and you need a place to stay and rest your head at night that's safe, so hospitality and travel and hotels will always be around.
Hmm.
So it's very nice to know that I always have that as my if I need to go back to it, I absolutely can.
I love that. I was thinking
Yeah.
about doing, and I've started doing some research into it as part of the channel to go to. So EMS is everywhere, right? But there's
Yeah.
EMS that you see. You see them whizzing around in ambulances. There's fire and police that you see. It's bright lights and bunch of noise, but there's stuff that you don't see. The ones at
Mhm.
stadiums, racetracks, all these. So I
Yeah.
wanted to travel to a bunch of these venues and see how F1 EMS,
Yeah.
how Giant Stadium EMS works. How
Yeah.
now Giant Stadium EMS is kind of probably not too hard because I actually know a bunch of people. I'm a stone's throw from Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that's and I'm like I said, the F1 tracks, the NASCAR tracks, like some of these big venues where stuff happens, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be kind of a lot of fun. I think that's a really cool idea. We'll
Yeah.
collab on that one too because people got
Absolutely.
to. So
Absolutely.
so Jess.
That's what are we at surprise time?
So first we met. We're walking around, right? We're walking around the venue,
Uh-huh.
and with your friends.
Yeah.
I'm meeting a whole bunch of really cool new people. Jess's friends are, by the way, the friends that Jess has mentioned, the ones that I've met, obviously, are absolute aces. She has
I
the
try.
stellarest fan group or friend group, I should say, just absolute aces.
I
So we're
try.
walking around, we're having a good time, absolutely not avoiding anybody, and and we sit down at a table, and someone comes up to us and they're like, "Hey, by the way, this table this is reserved for a game competition, a gaming competition
Mhm.
that's gonna be going on." And I was like, "Listen here, Scooter, we're sitting here for a very important reason, and I'm gonna need you to just do me a solid, just let us be here for like 5 minutes, and I promise we'll get out of your hair, but we need to be over here." And he was very gracious and he let us stay there. And at that point, to kill time and have a little fun, they busted out this card game. Okay. But see how she's laughing? Do you see how she's laughing? All right. Yeah. We busted out this card game.
Uh-huh.
All right. And they taught me how to play. It was very gracious of them to teach me how to play the game that they were going to slaughter me. It was very, very cozy, very cozy of them. And then we played our first hand of it, right? And in playing our first hand, Jessica swiftly and deliberately, by the way, and I would even go so far as to say maliciously, eliminated me from it.
It's
Uh,
a luck game with a little bit of strategy.
do you remember what that card game was?
I can't remember the name of it. Like, oh, well, I can't remember the name of it. It's one that Wes always brings.
Yeah, does it sound like Flip 7? Does that sound vaguely
I think
familiar?
so. Yeah.
Does that sound about right? Does that look about
Wait.
right?
Wait a minute.
Does that look about right?
Wait a minute.
Does that look
Are
about
you
right?
about to are you about to
Jessica?
challenge me to flip 7?
Jessica, does this look familiar to you?
Yeah, it looks familiar. Are you about to
All right.
challenge me to a rematch?
Not a sponsor. All right? But the first thing that I said to Jess when I got home, when we started chitty chatting on the Instagrammaticals, was, "Bro, I can't. I'm mortified that you decided to take your aggression, by the way, out on this unsuspecting, genuine, delicate flower of a human being." By the way, I'm a first responder. Thank me for my service. Like, what the hell's going on here? Right? This girl, do you see how I left her in the bottom corner so you can see her
Uh-huh.
reaction? Jess,
What's
this
that?
card deck, this deck is shuffled.
Mhm.
All right. One hand to rule them all. All right. I'm not
Uh-huh.
going down without a fight, Jess.
Are we playing right now?
This is live, dog.
Oh my gosh.
You are
This is
full of
hilarious.
food. The heat is coming. They're just screaming in the chat. What a sore loser. You leave me alone. I don't care if I'm a sore loser.
You know what's
All right?
hilarious, guys? We didn't even finish the game.
You didn't finish the game.
I mean, I was
But-
gonna win, but we didn't even
Yeah, we were going to win because first off, I was targeted. All right?
Look, I
was-
can't help that I'm the universe's favorite, okay? Like
Yeah,
the
you know
cards just
what?
loved me. It's not my fault.
They absolutely loved her. Right? She froze me out. I had like a point and a half. I had a 2 and a 3, and she froze me out. It was unbelievable. It was egregious, is what it was. It was egregious. It was aggressive, and it was deliberate. And I listen. It's unbecoming of a Disney princess. Is all I'm saying.
You know what's hilarious? I don't even have this game. This isn't my
No, neither did I. I bought this for this. This is $7 I'm never getting back.
Wait, I'm taking a screenshot so I can send this to Wes. And you
Wes
should
is
be
in Bronx?
interviewing Arcane Anthems and asking why he let this happen.
I love Arcane. He's a good dude.
He's a sweetheart.
He's a good guy. I like his content. He's always late at night. You know, he's always super late. He's on.
Yeah,
I love that you know him. That's fantastic.
he's a great friend.
All right. So here's the deal. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna bust out the box that I just launched across the world because just like last time, I don't know how to play this.
Bro, you think I remember?
Well, we're gonna learn today. Learn today. All right. So for those of you who don't know, this game is called Flip 7. All right. The objective is in this pressure luck game, be the first player to score 200 points. We're not playing for 200 points, Jess. This is showdown. This is war.
Okay,
Right,
this is
We've dealt matching cards. We're drawing our 3, and we're going to war. All right. The most
single one
valuable
takes it all. Okay.
Okay. The deck has 12. It has 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 10s until you
Yes.
get down to 1. There's even a 0. All right. There are also a few action cards and modifiers. There's a flip 3 card. There's a freeze card. Boy, am I familiar with that freeze card. And a second chance card. And score modifiers +1, +2, ×2, that type of stuff. When playing the game, it's important to keep the card count in mind. All right, blah blah blah. There's 94 cards plus rules, whatever. You have a pen and paper to keep track. Your score races to 200 points. Shuffle the deck thoroughly and choose a player to be the dealer for the round. I'm gonna be the dealer because you ain't got the cards. In turn order, the dealer deals 1 card face up to each player, including himself. If an action card comes up, that card gets is dealt with immediately to resolve it. Once any action card are resolved, the continuing dealing. Blah 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 blah. So here's how this game basically works. There's 11 11s, there's 10 10s, there's 9 9s. If you repeat a card, so if I draw a 9 and she draws a 7 and then I draw a 9, I lose.
Yeah.
You can't repeat the same card. All right,
Yeah.
that's how this works. Now you see how Jess's face is still on the screen? That's for 2 reasons. One, because it's a camera thing. I can't get my face to be on here because for whatever reason this computer doesn't love me. And 2, because inevitably when she fucking beats me, I just want her to be able to smile about it. It's coming like a freight train. I can smell it.
I could give you a pity lose.
You can't. I have the cards. You can't do nothing. You see, this is a live hand. I'm in this.
Also, I sent the screenshot to Wes and he said, "Love me some Flip 7." And I said, "I know, that's why he should be blaming you for this, not me."
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, I have to deal for both of us.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to go first or second? I don't know how this technically works.
I'll
Dealer
go
defers to you.
first. I'll go
You
first.
go first. All right.
Yeah.
So this side's going to be yours. This
Okay.
side will be mine because technically this is away from my camera. That's towards my camera.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right.
Okay, a 9. Is the prophecy gonna fulfill itself?
You smell that 9 already, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll take another one.
For the record, that means there's 11 other 12s in this deck.
Yep.
I shuffled these cards so good.
Mm. Okay. You gotta stop looking at it before you put it down. Ooh. Ooh. So you're gonna play a flip 3 on me?
No, I have to play a flip 3 on me, I think.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, play on an active player. So I mean, I guess I could have it do you.
Yeah.
That seems unsporting.
Well,
all right,
okay.
flip 3.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
God, just please be a freaking 7 or a 9.
Don't look at it first. Just put it down the thing. Stop cheating.
I'm not cheating.
You're looking at it first. Just put it on the table.
7, 8, 9. Oh my God.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay.
I hate
Was
this
it my
so
turn
much.
again? Or is it your
It's
turn?
it's my turn.
Just put it on the table. Don't look at it.
Oh,
You looked at it still.
no, I have to. I'm on the side of this.
Uh-huh. You're putting it towards you. Just
All right. What do you want to do?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident with the amount of points I have, but Are we gonna go into second round, or
You
did you
can,
want me to
listen,
just?
we can do whatever you want. I can bust out a pen and paper. We can do whatever you want. The world is your oyster. I brought you here. So
Okay. Okay, what's chat saying? Do I go and get another card, or do I call it for this amount of points that I have?
let's see. He's reading the instructions. I'm reading back.
Yeah.
Chat, do you want her to pick one, or do you want her to hold? Because she can hold like it's blackjack, so to speak. They're not saying nothing yet, but there's also a delay on.
There's a
on
delay.
YouTube. We'll hold them. I could edit this part, so it's all fine.
Oh yeah.
Bombastic says stay.
Okay.
This is why no one will remember your name. The consensus looks like stay.
Okay. Okay. So
All
that
right.
I'll stay then.
Mrs. Badge 502 goes, who by the way is one floor above me, goes, I want her to win. Thanks. God, everyone's saying stay. Oh,
I think that means that you could keep pulling if you want. If
I
you
can
want to
keep,
try to,
yeah, but I'm not gonna get. They have 1,015 points on the table here.
if you want to try to catch up to my points,
All right.
you keep pulling. Okay, a 9.
Can't count.
Oh,
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 oh. Let me get
oh.
these in some sort of order. 5, 8, 9, 12. Oh my God!
Okay.
Oh my Lanta. Oh God! Somebody, I don't have a calculator. I don't have a calculator. Where's the? I don't have a way to tabulate this right now.
Hold on, where's my calculator?
Yeah, let me bust out my iPad.
Because I can't do this. I can't do this by sight either. I'm a content creator. I'm not a math major.
I don't get paid enough for this. Ugh. You tabulating for us?
I think so. It's upside down though. 12. I think you got 41. Feel free to check my math, chat. I think we're tied.
No, we're not. 5 plus 8 plus 9
No, I
plus
think we're tied.
7 plus 12 equals 41. 11 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 equals. Oh my God, we're tied.
We're
Oh
tied.
no, that is inconceivable. Oh my God. Chat, what do we do? Chat, I'm so
we
scared.
call it a tie.
Chat, I'm so scared. I can't do it. I gotta
We
do
call it
something.
a tie.
No, I can't. She goes. Bombastic guy says next card takes it all.
Next card takes. Okay, so either. Okay, so either.
That means nothing to her. That means I either win or I lose. What do you say? It means either I tie or I lose. There's no win. I have no win.
Well, if you pick up a card and you don't have that number, and it's a higher card than what I pick up, or if, just pick a card for yourself or for me.
It would be for me. You stayed.
It would be okay. Pick it for you. Oh. I don't think that helps right now.
That helps nothing. This game wasn't designed for ties.
It wasn't just. Wes said, "Oh damn."
Oh damn. Dance off.
Oh. Wait, what was the top? What was the top? If I had picked the next card. If I had picked the next card, what was the top? Oh, see, I would have also lost. We would have still been tied.
The better man has won. The better man has won. Congratulations, reigning champion.
Thank you. Thank you.
It only hurts a lot of bit. It only hurts a lot of bit. That's $7 I'm never getting back.
You could just bring it to the next convention we go to.
Yeah, I've always wanted to lose to you twice in person. And the chat goes wild. Oh no, and Ant loses. Womp womp womp.
No, womp womp womp.
God, not the womp. Oh my God.
You'll definitely have to edit that to where it's just the strike and then.
Oh my.
You're done.
I've actually discovered the worst day of my life, guys. Well, whatever. At least Bombastic goes LMAO, so you lost. Jess, you're amazing. You're such a peach. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time and beating me twice at something that I forced
Yes.
upon you.
No, thank you for inviting me. This was so
Uh,
much fun. I don't often like say yes to podcasts unless it's like someone I know and I like, and I both like and I know you, so it's very
this is
nice.
once you realized who I was, because I wasn't cool enough to be recognized up front, but it's okay. I wasn't
Bro,
wearing my polo shirt.
you
It's
weren't in
fine.
uniform. What can I
That's it.
say?
Listen, I get it. I absolutely listen. I'm 6'7", walk past me, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "That's a tall dude." I was like, I remember him. I remember him walking by. He had the hat on. You know how he always wears like a hat in his videos, and like he looked exactly like he does in his videos, and I was just
Uh-huh.
oblivious.
Bless.
Jessica Van L, where can everybody find you
Yes, I am on all the
besides the
social
winner circle?
medias. Eh. I'm on all the social medias. I got the TikTok, I got the YouTube, I got the Facebook, I got the Instagram. So basically, wherever you want to find me, it's Jessica Vanel. Or honestly, if you just Google Hotel Skit Girl, there you
Hotel
go.
Skit Girl. I love that.
Yeah, no, whenever people can't remember the name, it's like look
Um,
up, just look for hotel skits, and I promise you'll be okay.
Oh my God, guys, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us over here on the Quad Shift Podcast. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Frontline Optics. FrontlineOptics.com. Get yourself a nice pair of sunglasses. I got like 87 pairs. By the way, I had 87 pairs before I was sponsored by Frontline. I was like, go get yourself some Frontlines from by responders for responders. If you break them, they'll buy them. They'll get you new stuff. They love you. They want you to have their stuff. Use code BATCH502 for 15% off your order. Jess, we're going to play again someday.
Uh-huh.
We're going to throw.
Uh-huh.
We're going to throw down.
It'll be great. We've had our my win, then we've had a tie
Your
that turned into
win.
my win, and then
Guys, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us. Have a fantastic rest of your night. We'll see you on the next episode of the Quiet Shift Podcast. Work hard, be kind always. Do not forget to tell somebody that you love them. Say it often. Make it weird, Jess. I hope you have a beautiful, quiet night.